There, October 28th to you. Thank you for joining us. As you come on, just let me and Latoya know that you're here to support her on this talk today, collaboration over competition. The conversation continues. We have the beautiful Latoya Chambers here in the house, one of my besties from childbirth. We've been in each other's lives for like too long, right? Sometimes for a long time, right? That's a good thing. But I want to welcome everybody for being here. Welcome Latoya for being here this morning. And go ahead and let us know who you are, what you do, and your why.
And my why. Okay, I love that. You getting into my coaching. I love the why. Well, as she mentioned, my name is Latoya Chambers. My business is You Are Life Coaching. So I am a life coach and I am also certified in mindfulness. So as far as a life coach, I deal with individual coaching, group coaching, marital coaching, relationships, transitioning, just pretty much the basics of a lot of things that deal with your everyday life situations, even spiritual coaching, which is very important. So, my business is based, of course, Christian based. My motto is knowing who you are, embracing who you are, loving who you are, and evolving into who you are, and then I added a little piece onto it, and to who you desire to be. So
Yes,
evolving into who you are and who you desire to be. I had to add that little piece onto it.
yes,
Um, my why, my why is all about my motto. I feel like we have a lot that we deal with on a daily basis, but everything that attaches to us is based off of the core of who we are as
yeah,
a person. If you don't get in tune with who you are, if you don't embrace and know and love who you are, then therefore, how can you actually evolve into other things? How can you actually develop other things? Because you're going to be all over the place. You're going to be lost. And that's
yeah.
what a lot of us deal with from time to time. So it has to just go back. Sometimes we have to tread back
Mhm.
and go back to the basics and the core so that we can move forward.
Mhm.
So that's my purpose.
All right, and we love your purpose, Coach Latoya.
Thank you.
No, that was beautiful, and thank you so much for telling us about who you are and your why. And thank you for those who are commenting this morning. Thank you for being here with us today. You got some love out there, Latoya. Um,
Do we?
yes, ma'am. Got some love going on. So we're gonna go ahead and get into it because we know it's Saturday. It's a beautiful day today. I hope that you decide to go outside after this. Of course, don't go out there now unless you're gonna have your phone and you listening. um, but get outside today and enjoy that sunshine. It's a beautiful day. So we're gonna go ahead and get into it. Well, first, before we get into it, let me ask you this question. This is what I've been asking my guests since last year because I think it tells us a lot about, give us even more insight into who you are. So, what is your theme song? And that might be an all time theme song. It might be something this year, something just recent. But what is your theme song and why?
Well, I think you know my theme
Well, I do,
song,
but I don't
and
know if they
it
know.
I know you do. So I'm just picking because it has not changed. Um, there's a lot of spiritual songs that I love that, when you're going through things, they sort of get you through. But my actual theme song is still by Mary J. Blige. Just fine, just fine.
All right.
Um, my reason why is because one of the things that she says about I like what I see when I'm looking at me when I'm walking past the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
And everything she says after that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, something about that just hypes me up because we don't look at ourselves enough in the mirror And we don't like, and it goes back to my motto
Mm-hmm.
of loving who you are, and we don't love who we are enough.
Yeah.
So um when you got your head on right, right,
Mm-hmm.
and you're not letting nothing get in your way that day, and you got this vibe about yourself. You ever thought you were looking good
Come
that
on now,
day?
talk about
You
it.
know, you like the outfit that you had on,
Mm-hmm.
and you was like, you was like, you don't have to be conceited. I love to say, just be confident, right?
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
confident in what God gave you and created in you.
Mm-hmm.
And when you think about that, and you walk past that mirror, and you stop and you check instead of just going past complaining,
Ooh,
and you have that positive vibe,
ooh.
and you're saying everything is just fine.
Yeah.
Not saying that it's perfect,
Mm-hmm.
not saying everything is going to go, as planned, but it's just fine. Everything is just fine. It's just okay.
Yeah.
It's just fine,
Yeah.
you know. And I love that.
Yeah.
And you're saying in that song, you're saying you're not gonna let anything get in your way. That's motivation. That's saying,
Mm-hmm.
I know there's things that's gonna be coming in my path, but yet I'm not gonna let it stop me.
Yeah. Yeah. Come on. That is a wonderful song. It's such an empowering song, and all of us who know Latoya know that's her song. Get off the dance floor when it comes on because she is going to do her thing when the song comes on. But yeah, it is. It's such an empowering song, and I didn't even think about what you were saying. Just that simple verse of "I like what I see when I'm looking at me when I'm walking past the mirror," because I have a hard time looking at myself
Mm-hmm.
sometimes in that mirror. It's getting better, because
Mm-hmm.
in our own minds, we're our own worst critics, right? And thinking how
We
we're
are.
supposed
We
to
are.
look or how we're, supposed to be. And, everything about my body, I'm learning and I'm embracing. I had to embrace my curves, right? I'm
Mm-hmm.
short, I'm curvy, I got the hips going on and the thighs. Okay, they there. Okay. And the
Mm-hmm.
older I get, they keep on coming. Okay. So I'm learning how to do that. And it was something I saw some years ago. And I'm not encouraging anyone to do this. This is not one of them type of shows, but and on a positive note, if we could take our minds to positivity, is to look at yourself naked and
Mm-hmm.
embrace who you are in your nakedness,
Right.
right?
Right.
That can be tough, and that can really be something that's encouraging for someone. It's a challenge for you to truly look
It's
at
very.
all of your flaws as they are
Mm-hmm.
and embrace them, because you are who you are, right? God made you who you
Right.
are. As Latoya's business says, you are, right? He made you how
Mm-hmm. Right.
you are, and we have to embrace that and love that, and we should celebrate it. I guess is the word that I'm looking for. Somebody was throwing their hands up, Toya, when you was talking about your song, girl, and someone also said, "I love that song too." Yes, that is the song, and someone gave us some purple hearts. That's my thing. With purple heart,
Yes.
and Latoya has the
Purple.
purple and orange hearts, right? So
We love it. Purple and orange hearts all day.
all day. All right, so now we're gonna actually get into it. Um, Tell us some examples of when you've been in a competitive situation, because we've all been there, right? Whether we knew it was coming or whether someone put us there, right, into something competitive. And you're like, wait a minute, how did I even get here? But would love to hear some examples that you may have, one or two examples of when you've actually been in a competitive situation.
Well, I had to think real hard on it because I don't put myself in competitive situations.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm always stand alone. Like it is what it is. Whatever I bring to the table is, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes we're, like you said, we're put in competitive situations involuntarily.
Mm-hmm.
It's so one thing that came in mind was when you're interviewing.
Mm-hmm.
When you're interviewing, you're in a competitive situation,
Yeah,
whether if you're around the other competitor or not, there is more than one person that is going after the same goal,
absolutely.
going after the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, in that particular situation, you know that you have to bring you.
Yeah,
And going back, you have to bring who you are,
that's right.
what you can bring to the table, your characteristics, your gifts, your talents, your intellect, your education, your knowledge. your personality, whatever. You have to bring you. And that is the time for you to shine
Yeah.
and tell them about who you are as a person.
Mm-hmm.
And I have learned over the years, in my 20s and my 30s, I was a little bit unsure
Right.
about who I am and what I bring to the table. So being in interviews it was sort of hard interview.
Yeah.
But now that I am more confident
Confident.
in those things,
Mm-hmm.
then I'm more bold.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more bold in being competitive
Yeah.
against someone else, whether if I can see them or not see them.
Yeah.
The other example was track.
Okay.
I had to think about, God, when I was thinking about this question, God put in my spirit about track and field. Because, like I said, I don't be in too many competitive
Yeah.
situations. Usually I'm behind the scenes, I take myself out of it,
Mm-hmm.
whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and do what I do.
Right.
But I was thinking about track, and I was thinking about um, when you're competing, and I was looking at it as life. And back in the day, they used to say, when you guys used to come, you remember in high school, you guys used to come to the track
Yep.
meets and used to say, the monkey on your back, the monkey on your back, right?
I do. I do.
and
Yes.
and the monkey on your back meant, you know, you're doing this thing, you have this
Yeah.
race that you have to race,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But at some point in time in this, it may not be a smooth race all the way through.
Right.
Somebody else may be coming up on you,
Right. Right.
going after the same thing you going after.
Come on. Come on.
And it's coming close on you. And at that time, you don't feel it's coming up on you, right?
Yeah.
But then somebody yells out, when somebody yells out the monkey
Okay.
on your back,
Uh-huh.
that's when you say, oh, I gotta take everything I have because something is coming up on me that I could
Come
not
on now.
see, but it's
It's
coming.
coming.
I don't have time to back down. I don't have time to turn around. You know how they do in the movies when something coming up on you, they turn
Can't
around. I
look
don't
back.
have time
Can't
to
look
turn
back.
around.
Yeah.
I've already heard the warning sign that it is coming, so I have to move forward.
Mm-hmm.
So I take that as an analogy as far as life. When you're in a competition,
Yeah.
when you're in life, when you're going through life and you know that you're trying to move forward to this goal.
Yeah.
And moving forward in this goal, you have things that is coming up on you, whether if it's finances,
Mm.
debt, whether if it's people talking about you,
Come on.
people trying to run your name down in the ground, and all these signs saying the monkey on your back, the monkey on your back.
Mm.
But either way, you know that I still got to push forward because I'm still looking forward to the prize.
Come on now.
And I still have to look forward because if I back down and let all of this stuff consume me,
Mm.
the monkey gonna come right past me
Come on. Come on. Toya.
and take what I have and
Yeah.
take what I'm trying to gain and
Yes.
accomplish
Yes.
from me. I can't let that happen.
Come on now.
Not willingly anyway.
Not the monkey. Not the monkey on my
The
back. Come
monkey,
on.
it's so funny that came
I
up.
love that you even use that analogy. What that is like awesome, right? And the connection, how you can make that because there are some truly, track people, some athletic people that want Tanya, she wasn't gonna do it, and she's not gonna run around nobody track. She's not doing it. But Latoya was definitely that person. And so I love how you reached back, how God put that word in you to give us because it is so good. It's so true. We have no clue. These people that's out here competing with us have no clue because that's not what we came here for. We came here to do whatever it is that He's called us to do in whatever capacity that is, whether that's on your job, it's with your family, it's a ministry He's called you to, whatever it is, right? Your business, with coaching, life coaching, right? He's called you to that. And
Right.
so you know that as a life coach, there's other life coaches. Hello. You're not the first and only, you won't be the last. Okay. There
Right.
that's the point, right? But people tend to put us in these buckets and make us start competing with one another, and we're involuntarily, and it's like this I didn't come to compete with you today or any other
Right.
day. I just came here to do what my Father has called me to do. And so for you to
Exactly.
bring that example with the track, oh my God, that's a word right now. Y'all better not let that monkey hey, monkey on your back.
So,
Y'all gonna let the monkey pass you? Y'all gonna keep on going? What y'all gonna do? Oh my God.
that's right.
She didn't say the word with the monkey on the back. Oh, I love it. So those are again great examples. The interviewing, which is good, right? Because we've all, at the end of the day, just like you said, you may not even know the person. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't know who you're interviewing against. But it's all about bringing your A game, showing up as your
Bring your
genuine self, right? And if someone
right,
asks you a question and you don't understand it, be open enough to say that. You know what? I don't really understand that, but I'm willing to learn, right?
right.
Like don't fake the funk, as they say, right? Be you, be who you are.
Mhm.
So I love that. How did you overcome? So when you're in those interviews, and you gave us some examples, which is great. What are some other ways that people may overcome that in a competitive situation? Also, just in life in general, to overcome competitive situations.
Um, One of the things is preparation. Um, in everything you do, you gotta have preparation. You gotta prep. You gotta
Hmm.
be prepared for what you are up against, or what. Yes, you gotta be prepared for what you're up against in life.
Right,
You can't just go out here willy nilly and all over the place.
right.
So as far as the interviewing, as far as when I was talking about try things in life
Mhm.
in general, you
Yeah,
have to be prepared for the what ifs.
right.
You have to be prepared for the hard questions. You have to be prepared for the things that are not going to go smoothly, right?
Hmm.
What's
Hmm.
your backup plan?
Mm, mm.
What's that what if? Not that you're not going to have faith in what you're
Right,
going for, but it's just the
right.
fact of realistically, in the
Hmm.
event that something goes this way or that way, you have to be prepared. And the
Yeah.
next thing is believing in yourself. And I
Mm.
think I touched on it a little bit before.
Hmm.
Nobody can believe in you more than you believing in you. And let me
Come on,
say that again.
say it.
Nobody can
Say it
believe
again.
in you more than you can believe in yourself.
Wait a minute. Say it
You
again for
can,
people in the back, because they didn't hear that. They didn't hear you.
they didn't hear me.
Mm-mm. They didn't hear you.
Nobody
Hmm.
can believe in you more than you believe
Come
in
on.
yourself.
Come on. That's
You
facts.
can you can say all day long, you would be a good candidate for this. You would
Hmm.
be good in this area. I see you
Hmm.
in that area. But until you actually believe it in yourself and you go out on faith, you make that effort, you
Hmm.
push forward in it,
Hmm.
it's not gonna happen.
Mm-mm.
Because somebody else can see all of this in you and you go out there and you fail. And you only fail because you stopped trying, because you didn't believe in yourself.
Mm.
So believing in who you are. Even when I made that example as far as running the track and the monkey on your
Yeah.
back. So when the
Yeah.
monkey on your back, just like in life, when we call it the devil, when we call
Yep.
it our enemies, when we
Right.
call
Right.
it our, different things that we're dealing with, when that
Mm.
happened, what are you going to do? Do you
Yeah.
just stop? You be like, oh, well, I might as well stop. I don't have no more breath left, whatever. Or are you
Mm.
going to say, I'm going to give it everything that I
Right.
have? And at the
Right.
end of the day, if it's not for me, it's not for me. But it will not mean because I did not give it my all. It's
Ooh.
not because I did not believe in myself.
Ooh.
If I don't accomplish it, if I don't have it at this time, because denial is not delay. So if at this point in time I do
Mm.
not have or accomplish what I'm setting out to do, then maybe
Mm.
it's not for right now. Maybe it's not for me. Maybe God has something better in store for me. Maybe somebody has to move some things out of the way to make room for me, to make space for me. Maybe the
Ooh.
capacity is not there for how great and amazing I am at this point in
Mm.
time. You know,
Mm.
so
Mm.
so there's a lot of different variables, but the
Yeah.
biggest thing is preparing yourself and believing in yourself.
Yes. Listen, you said so much, and I should have like a transcript or something running so I can go back and see what you said, because it was a lot. The one thing that just hit my spirit though was make room. Oh my God. There's a song, I love me some Jonathan Reynolds. I'm just throwing it on out there. That is my dude. And that song, Make Room. Oh my God. That's the only thing I could hear when you said that.
Make room.
Because it's so true. We have to make room. And the other thing you were saying too, it is a choice. You're either going to fold up, wash your hands with it, and walk away. You're going to say, you know what? I can do this. And I'm going to put everything I can into this to make this happen.
Right.
And then another point you made is maybe it's not for you. And that's okay.
It's okay.
That's what we have to begin to understand. If it's just, and it's tricky because you have to truly be mindful with sometimes, you fighting so hard because God's trying to get you to that next level. It's a test.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you're beating your head up against the wall. You're never going to get anywhere. You got to know the difference
Mm-hmm.
between the two. You can know that. That's why you have to keep yourself in prayer. That's why you have to have a prayer life, your relationship with God, so you can know what voice to listen to and not listen to your own voice.
That's right.
Okay. You need to make sure that you're hearing from God, not necessarily what it is that you want. Now, when you go into prayer and you pray on it and you still somewhat don't make that quote unquote right choice, God's still going to lead you through it because you trust him enough. Does that make sense? Because Lord knows I done made plenty. And I'm like, okay, now that wasn't the right choice, was it, Lord?
Right.
But he got me through it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's all of those things. Oh my God, Toya, Lord, okay, y'all. She preaching today, and I'm just loving it. I'm just loving it. So I always love asking this question to my guests because we as women, we are so inspiring. We should be, right? And we should be inspiring to one another. So I always like to know what inspires you as a woman.
What inspires me as a woman is, first and foremost, is our beauty. Um, Not just outer beauty, but the inside beauty.
Yeah.
We are created with so many different variables. You know, um,
Mhm.
we're authentic in so many ways. We're unique in so many ways. We're creative in so many ways. We're multitaskers.
Mhm.
When you think about the fact, one thing that Beyonce says, one thing I have to say about one of her songs was, when you're strong enough to bear the children and get
Woo.
back,
And get back to
oh
business.
God,
Come on now.
that in itself,
Come
you
on.
know, that's that silent strength that you
Silent
mentioned.
strength. Silent strength.
That's
Yes,
strength.
ma'am.
We we wake up in the morning, from the moment that we open our eyes,
Mm-hmm.
whether if you have a spouse, significant other, what have you, you're thinking about what's going on with them. You think
Yep.
about what's going on with your kids. You
Mm,
think about what's going on with the house,
mm.
any type of errands, bills, dinner for the day. And then a lot of times you think about you last.
Woo.
You know,
Come on.
when you go to sleep at night, you're thinking about the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And even in the midst of what everybody else have going on, even in the midst of how life sometimes,
Come on
that's my
now.
new quote these days.
Because it be lifing. It be
Life.
lifing.
Even in the midst of how heavy
Yeah.
things are,
Yeah.
we are still resilient.
Mm,
We still push regardless of what we're going through. And
mm.
I love that in
Yeah.
ourselves. We can be sick, migraine, no matter what we're going through, and we still gonna try to make
Still
it
gotta
through. We
come on
still
now.
gonna try to push forward and make it happen.
Come on.
So I just the beauty in and the strength that God gave us, even in our
Mm-hmm.
femininity, if that's a word in itself, but even with us being
Mm-hmm.
feminine.
Uh,
Um,
yeah.
and I just love that, in so
Yeah.
many different ways, and that's what inspires me in being a woman. Just another
Yeah.
thing, realizing who we are as people.
Hmm. I don't know who just put this comment up here that said resilient. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna have to take that right now. Because woo, that just did something to me all in my spirit. You were talking about the silent strength. Everything that you said is authenticity.
Hmm.
We are authentic.
We are all
When you are that woman, like we don't have the time to be. We don't have the opportunity to be sick. What do you mean I'm sick? What do you
right,
mean?
right,
I still got to get up, make sure everything going the way it's going. The
right.
household is everything you just said. We don't necessarily have the. I don't know if I want to say the pleasure or the opportunity. I don't know the word I'm looking for, but we don't necessarily
Hmm.
have that in life because of how we're built and how we're designed. We're designed to
Right,
be meat. That's how God created us, to be the
We
help.
are that help. We are that help me. And so we
Yeah.
have that intuition inside of us in every area. We need to add something to it. We need
Yes.
to magnify it, you know.
Yes. Yes. That had to be Swan Shine because she said, take it, friend. And I could tell because she said read and then the capital S. Was that with Swan Shine? Please chime in the comments because
He said, put it on a t-shirt.
yeah, I will take it. I'll give you like 5%, Swan, if that's what. Oh my God. No, that was so good, Toya. Everything you just said. And I just appreciate that. It's always something for us to do. Women aunt too. Come on, talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that we do.
Yeah.
I was just having this conversation with my coworker yesterday. She's in school right now, 50 years old, and she's getting her degree. I love it. Mother, she got a child in college, wife, you know, life be lifing. And
Mm-hmm.
she was just talking about like the challenges. I said, listen, I remember when I did the same thing. I graduated May 2015. I was going through a divorce. I had three young ones in the house. I was traveling like nonstop for my job. I was also getting a certification as a trade show marketer, all the while getting my bachelor's of science degree. Are you freaking kidding me? And I
Ooh,
just kept on moving, right? If I would have stopped to think about it, oh my God, that would have took me
yeah.
out.
We don't have
You
time
know
to
what I
think
mean?
about
So you just got to keep going. We just keep pushing. It's that silent strength that we have. And yes, that
it.
was Swan Shine. All right, Swan, I got you, girl. I got you. Okay, so we go move on to the next question, which is how do you collaborate with other women? We've always loved this collaboration over competition, right? So we talked about some competitive things and examples of how to get out of those competitive situations. Well, let us know how you collaborate with other women in case there's anyone out here that would love to collaborate with you.
Well, two of the things that came to mind is unity and support.
Hmm.
Um, a scripture came to me as far as Matthews 18 and
Hmm.
20.
Hmm.
And it talks about when one or two come together,
Yeah,
right? God is in the midst of it.
yeah, yeah.
And you have to think about the power of unity.
Hmm.
And that's why in the spirit, the devil or what have you, whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
always want to divide us.
Mm.
Because anytime you have one or more person together, there's more power in that.
Yes.
When we unify
Hmm.
each other, when we come together in unity,
Yeah.
you have so many different, because when you split us up, we have power. We have
Yeah.
all the different variables that we're made with, right? That
Right.
we have, that we bring to the table. But
Hmm.
then when you have another individual that is created uniquely in their own way,
Hmm.
right? And they bring into the table what they have,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
And you put these things together,
Yeah.
you have more ideas, you have
Yeah.
more support, you have more collaboration, and in all different type of ways. It's almost like when you have, when I'm coaching and we're talking about shining,
Yeah.
and we talk about that at your event too,
Yeah.
and we talk about you have this light that shines.
Yes. Yes.
Well, an individual light is only going to shine in that one particular area, and it's only going to go but so far.
Come on.
But when you have more than one light put together, I
Mm.
talk about being not just shining, but also becoming an illuminator.
Illuminating. Come on.
So, because when you put multiple lights together that are shining, it
Mm.
reaches more area, more
Yeah.
territory,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so when you come together and you collaborate rather than trying to always compete, you
Hmm.
bring more to that. And
Yeah.
one thing about collaboration that I thought about is when you're collaborating, and say for instance, I'm a business owner, you're a business owner,
Yeah.
and when somebody wants to collaborate with you, you have to be able to trust and be able to allow them to be able to collaborate
Come
with you.
on now. Come on.
Because some of us
Yes.
are controlling, and they do not want to allow other people to even collaborate
Hmm.
with us so that we can be greater, so that we can
Right. Right.
see what other ideas that we might not have had, so that we can have help. Sometimes we complain about not having help, but sometimes we
Woo.
don't allow the help and support that we have around us that God has put in
Come on.
our path. Sometimes we
Come on.
reject.
Come on.
that God has blessed us with,
Rejecting your
you
blessing.
know. So
Yeah.
yes, so it goes two ways. You
Mm.
know, people can collaborate with you,
Yeah.
but you have to be open to the collaboration. You have to embrace
Yes.
as
Yes.
well.
Yes. Yes.
So you can collaborate in so many different ways. You know, you can collaborate whether if it's your finances,
Mm.
hey, you know, because pretty much when you're a business owner, even if you're not,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, common sense tells you it takes money, right?
Yeah. You still got to pay
And
your bills.
and so therefore, if you can support in
Mm-hmm.
that way, you support in that way.
Yeah.
If you don't have the money, maybe your time. You can
Yeah.
support in your time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If it ain't about your time, maybe it's about referrals,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
and collaboration. Maybe it's about referrals, you
Yeah.
know, when you come across people.
Yeah.
I am a life coach. I come across people who need websites,
Yep.
who need logos,
Mm-hmm.
who need certain things that Tanya has to offer.
Right.
You know, I come across people who needs t-shirts, and I know people who do t-shirts. I know that Jamie is a life coach herself,
Right.
but she may not coach the same things I coach,
Come
or I
on.
may not coach the same things she coach. So I may refer her rather than competing against her,
Yeah.
trying to take everything for myself. I may say, hey, I have somebody for you,
Yeah.
you know. So therefore, that word of mouth is everything.
Yes, it is.
You know, seeing what you can add
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
to what somebody already has
Right.
established.
Right.
And that's what I look at as far as
Yeah.
collaboration. How can I help you? In what area? What can I help you with? What can I bring to the table?
Yeah. Yeah.
Big or little,
That's right.
everything matters.
That's right. It's nothing too small that we can't help each other with.
Nothing small.
And the other thing, as far I think you were saying, Lord, my thought is gone. I'm tired. You said so much that is good, but it was on the tip of my tongue about something you just said. But I'm gonna go back to this comment here: ask, then reject. Make it make sense. It's like, why would you reject someone who's coming to give you some help? Like I don't understand that, right? So thank you for that, Swan.
Because we want to take credit
Because
for
you
it
want to
all.
take
We
credit.
think that their little bit is going to take
Yes.
away from what
Yes.
they do.
And I think the other thing too, Toya, is understanding who we are as people, which is why a life coach or a therapist, whichever one it is that you need at that time of your life, is so important. I speak to a therapist a lot. Actually have to get back with her soon, because we understanding who we are helps us understand why our personalities, why we make some of the decisions that we make, why we do some of the things that we do. And for me, I understand my personality, but I'm not ashamed of my personality. Is who I am. I am a type A planner,
Mm-hmm.
control person all day. I got to make it. Let's get it done. That's who I am. Now that I know that, how can I adjust, okay, my personality when I'm around someone who not necessarily is that controlling, right? And they don't know how to take me
Mm-hmm.
because I'm being too direct, right? How do
Mm-hmm.
I, kind of adjust that a bit so that I can still get the same result? Does that make sense? And learn how to collaborate with that person because they might be a little more timid and not as, out there and, you know, bold or boisterous with their voice, right? Where I can just kind of say, hey, how are you today? Right? Because I have a tendency just to go ask you what I need. And I didn't skipped over speaking to you and everything, right? And it's not because I don't care. It's
Mm-hmm.
just I have something on my mind. And that's what I'm coming to you for. But to say, hey, how are you today? It doesn't mean it's fake. It's taking a time to really stop. Wait a minute, stop. Let me make sure I approach that person, in the right way. So learning
You
about who
know,
you are will help you in collaboration as
right.
well.
Tanya, one of the things you said initially, one thing about you speaking to your therapist
Mhm,
or a life coach or what have you,
mhm,
or somebody around you,
mhm.
having that constructive criticism
Yeah,
of somebody that cares about you or somebody that sees things that you don't see,
yeah.
is the thing of it makes awareness, it brings awareness.
Awareness.
And that because you speak to someone and now you're aware of certain things,
Hmm.
now you know that I can't be this way with everybody because everybody can't take me.
That's
You
right.
know, I
That's right.
can't, maybe I am being a control freak.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Maybe I am not allowing people to help me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I am rejecting my
That's
blessings,
right.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it's that sense of awareness that
Yeah.
helps us to be a better person.
Absolutely. And that's what I was going to say too about asking for help. That's what was on my mind initially when I first started talking. When I tell you that I need help, oh, Tiny need a crew. And I'm being as transparent and 100% clear as I can. Like, I need a crew. I can no longer continue to do design with a purpose in this event by myself. This year, if no other year, has shown me that with life
Mm-hmm.
happening, because life was lifing during this process. Me
Mm-hmm.
and my 9 to 5 job, and this being trade show season, because I plan trade shows for my company. That being trade
Mm-hmm.
show season and everything that goes into that. And if you're not a trade show planner, then you won't get it. But if you are, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And that demanding, role. And so because you have
Mm-hmm.
like ups and downs throughout the year. So this is October is trade show season for me. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't even realize. And this is also when my event is, which is a lot of planning. So it's like being
Mm-hmm.
aware of asking for help, and it's okay. And it's
It's okay.
okay to ask for help.
It's okay.
It's okay. So yeah, just thank you so much for giving that. And so there's one last question because I know we're just a little over in time. I think someone said awareness and the power to accept what you see and what they say and work it out. Yes, yes, and yes. And so I like to end the talk with this question with what is, I guess, how can, with a woman who may be going through or experiencing competition or seems to be a little competitive herself, what advice would you give her to turn it into something positive or at least a collaboration opportunity?
I think since I've mentioned so
Yeah,
much, when you're so full,
yeah,
we've probably basically touched on
yeah,
it. The advice that I would give for people that are experiencing competition is basically don't think about it as being competition.
yeah.
Set yourself aside,
Mm-hmm,
look at who you are as a person,
mm-hmm,
believe in yourself and rise up
yeah,
and let it shine.
yeah.
And there's no competition in
None,
that at the end of the day.
zero.
It takes a long time to get to that point, but if you can just take it in gradual pieces,
Mm-hmm,
you know,
mm-hmm,
but you just have to know that you alone
mm-hmm.
are enough
Yeah,
at the end of the day.
yeah,
So in competition, there's really not any competition in that, in who you are. It's either for you or not for you, right?
one of the two.
But as far as collaboration, it goes both ways.
Mm-hmm.
You unify and support others, but also in your own endeavors, in your own business.
Yeah,
Allow other people to
support.
support and unify with you.
Mm-hmm. And
Because
it's
without a
free.
blessing,
And that's
and
free.
it's
You going out and doing referrals or sharing a post, for example, if you're on social media, providing someone your website, whatever it is, if it's a business situation, it's free. It's not costing you anything to do that. It's free, but it is it is a fee to that, meaning that God will bless you because
God will
because
bless
you're doing it genuinely, right?
you're
Oh, I know
planting
somebody who can
seed.
help you with that. Yeah,
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 you don't know what seeds that you are planting, just
yeah,
by doing what you're doing, by being selfless, right? Not
absolutely.
always thinking about selfish and being self-centered, being
Hmm.
selfless.
Hmm.
You're planting seeds
Hmm.
that will reap harvest even within your fields.
Talk about it
And so
now. And there's someone, I think it was Swan, who put the candle up and reminding us of those who were not at the event. Dominique Alphonse and Bill did this exercise with the candle and lighting it. And so Latoya just really brought that all back full circle. Like, as an individual, you have a light, right? And that's
you have a
wonderful. That's a beautiful thing. But if we can go out and light each other's light, right? And we come together,
light.
it becomes even brighter. And when you see
Even
that your sister's light has gotten blown out, whether by someone else or by herself, because we can beat ourselves up. then my sister can come
Likewise.
back around and she can light me back up, right?
Exactly.
That's what it's about. It's about that whole collaboration, um, the removing the jealousy, removing the envy, removing any negative thoughts or feelings, and those spirits, because that's what it is. Let's talk about it. Competitive,
Yes.
being competitive, envious, jealousy, those are spirits. And once you recognize what that is, ask God to help you with that. Or if you see that in someone else, ask God to remove that spirit from them. Because there's no reason. What are we competing for? What is purpose? There's no purpose in that. And I do think that
Exactly.
it is deep rooted, something that our ancestors had to endure, that is just deep rooted in us as African American women. I can't speak from another race of women, right? And that whole competing, it's just some deep rooted stuff that we have. And so, how are we going to break through those chains? How are we going to get past it so that the next generations can do better? That's why I try to have these
Mhm.
conversations with different women to have different
Mhm.
perspectives on what this means. Yeah.
And when I know we have to go,
Hmm.
but when you think about, generations, what they leave,
Hmm.
in my mind, it came up legacy.
Mm.
When you have the beginning and the end on your headstone,
Mm.
right? And you have the line in between. It's what all you did and you contributed to, how you live your life, and how you help someone
Come
else
on.
live their life in between. So
Jesus.
therefore, what is the legacy that you're leaving?
Mm.
And within that legacy, you're using your gifts, you're using your purpose, right?
Mm.
Think about so many people who have touched so many people, that we mourn over, that we don't even know, right?
Yes.
And it is by what they have given to us
Mm.
in
Mm.
a
Mm.
direct way or indirect way,
Mm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, what you do for other people, not just yourself,
Yeah.
it is part of leaving your legacy. It lives on even when you're not living in the
Come
flesh.
on.
It lives on in the spirit.
Come on.
So there's so much that you gain out of that.
Yeah.
You never have to worry about anything getting
Mm-mm.
taken away from you. It's
Mm-mm.
all a win.
Oh, oh. And I'm talking about just this week having that exact same conversation. There's a start date and there's an end date to our lives. What are you doing in between?
Right. What are
What
you
is it
doing in
that you're
between?
leaving? What is that? What is it that people are going to remember you for? Is it going to be good or bad? What is it that you're leaving? Because you
Right.
will
What
be
are you
talked about when you ain't here no more, whether it's good or bad. I'm just being real.
right?
But what is that conversation going to be? Yeah, it's all about that legacy, as someone said. This is how I know God is just good and his confirmation, his grace is sufficient, all of that, because I literally was just having this conversation with someone.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
So, listen, Latoya, this has been amazing. It really has. Like,
It
I'm blown
has.
away.
It has.
And anytime, one or two, are gathered in his name, you know what I mean? And there
Yes.
is power in his name and there's power in what we're doing. And for those who don't know, the shift is happening with Design with a Purpose. Now, you can follow the shift or you can get off the ship. It don't matter to me, but it's going to keep on going because okay, let's just talk about it because
You
God
heard that? You can get
is
on the ship
setting
or get
this
off the
up.
ship.
It is what it is, and I feel it. I started feeling it before the event. I felt it at the event. I'm feeling it with this conversation because it's time for us to heal as women. It just is. Enough of the nonsense. Time for us to do better. Somebody was laughing at Somebody was laughing at what I said. Hey, whoever it is, what it is. Okay. But we want to thank Latoya for being here with us today. And I want to encourage everyone to go to Latoya's website, urlc.com. This is where she offers her life coaching services. She specializes in mindfulness. And I feel like it's is it just mindfulness that you specialize in?
Certified in just life coaching and mindfulness.
Mindfulness.
Everything
Okay.
else is underlining. Right.
Okay, gotcha, gotcha. So make sure that you visit her website, you hit her up. There's a difference between a life coach and a therapist. Latoya, would you like to tell them the
Yeah.
difference? Because don't think. Okay,
Yeah.
tell us.
There is a difference. There comes a time where some people need a therapist or a counselor. And the therapist and counselor, I look at it as the initial. Sometimes you have to dig up the deep rooted trauma, things that are deep that you don't know as far as what's
Mhm.
going on with you. They
Mhm.
have the ability to diagnose you. It's more
Yeah.
medically necessary in a sense.
Mhm.
Then after you leave them, or while you're even still, sometimes we tag team, while you're
Mhm.
still with that therapist or counselor,
Mhm.
now that they have given you the, you know, the light bulb has come on as far as what's going on with you, the
Mhm.
diagnosis. Now
Yeah.
you need to say, okay, where do I go from here? Right?
Mhm.
Somebody could give you a diagnosis, and that then you have the ingredients, and now you need help putting it together.
Mhm.
So a coach is the person that sees the best in you, that
Yeah.
coaches you along the way, that say, hey, okay, this is what we have, this is what we're working with. Let's come up with an action plan. Let me help encourage you, inspire you along the way. Let me be your
Yeah.
accountability partner. Let me
Mhm.
tell you the opposite. When your mind tells you negative thoughts, let me tell you the opposite of what your mind is telling you. You
Yes.
know, let me have that position in your life. So
Mhm.
that coach is that person that sees the best in you and pushes you towards that.
Yeah. Yeah. Wonderful. So y'all heard it right here from Latoya what a life coach is and how she can help you out if you are in need of those services. Thank you again, Latoya, for joining us. This has been
Thank
powerful.
you.
It's been amazing. For those who come back and watch this later, if you didn't catch it live, please put hashtag replay in the comments. Let us know what you thought. Everyone who hung out with us this morning, through this afternoon, thank you so much. Go enjoy your day. It's a beautiful day outside.
Thank you.
Take
Thank you.
advantage of it because you know how October do. It'll be in the 40s next week. Okay, we in the 80s
Exactly.
now. So go ahead and enjoy this beautiful day. And again, Latoya, thank you so much. Any well, I guess you just gave us some last things to say with all that information, but I don't want to leave anything out. You good?
I am good. I
Okay.
think we have all the information, and
Yeah.
if they need any of us, I believe they have all the information they need.
Yeah.
We're here for you.
Yes. Yes, we are. Enjoy your day. Let me see. There was one more comment out here. I want to make sure we get it good. Somebody gave us the fist pump. All right. Blessings, everyone. We even got some kissy faces. So love you, everybody. Enjoy your day. Have a good